Hey there, fourth graders. We're going to start our tutorial lesson on this unit. And what I want you to do first of all is have a couple things ready. And the first thing I want you to have ready is your unit packet. And we'll fill that out in just a second. You will also need, the first thing you're going to do actually is you're going to go to Team Nabalski. And you're going to actually click on Grammar. And then I'm going to click on Unit 1, because we're still in Unit 1. It's our last week in Unit 1. And I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to see that I see conjunctions, and I see these two guys here. I'm actually going to watch this video right here. I'm going to go ahead and press play. And I can also increase my screen. Okay. So I'm going to watch that video. And then when I'm done, I'm actually going to go back to my activities. So the first thing you're going to do is watch the video and really listen to what they're doing. There might be a couple different things that you don't notice and that are kind of weird. Just ignore them. So only watch this video. It says it's 10 minutes, 39 seconds. As soon as you're done with that, you need to go to your packet. So go ahead, pause the recording right now, watch the video, and then get your packet and watch the rest of the video. All right? All righty. All right, so you can see on your screen, you just finished the video. And now we need to make sure that we write in the information for the week. As you can see, my name is Brett Favre this week. I am in red words. And I have 1026 to 1029. You're actually going to have your word test on Thursday. Study my words like we always do. And the next three activities, we're actually going to put the 27th. And we're actually going to write video tutorial. So there are 3 pages that you're actually going to do a tutorial on, okay? So make sure you get that written down. So go ahead, pause the recording, and write out all this information on your packet. All right, so many of you know, you probably had time to copy all this down. I want to show you in your packet at the very last page, there's always a informational page that gives you like posters and ideas to remember what things are. If you look here, it says run-on sentence. I can produce complete sentences, recognizing and correcting inappropriate fragments and run-ons. A run-on sentence is 2 complete sentences that run together. I like blueberries. I like bananas. How can I fix a run-on sentence? Well, first I can separate them into 2 sentences. I like blueberries, period. I like bananas, period. I also can create a compound sentence. I like blueberries and I like bananas. And you know when we make a compound sentence, it's 2 independent clauses connected with a fanboy or a conjunction. And that's how I can do it. All right, so let's go back and let's start our first lesson. Yeah, you can see some answers there, can't you? I'm pretty nice. The first page we're going to do, we're going to write 1026. And I already underlined a few things. So if you want to pause the recording and underline and circle everything I've written and then listen to the recording, that's great. Excuse me. A run-on sentence combines 2 or more independent clauses incorrectly. Fix a run-on sentence by writing separate sentences or combining the sentence correctly. Or use fanboys. That's why Ms. Nabalski has that right there. So I can either make 2 independent clauses and end each with a period, or I can just combine them and use a fanboy. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. All right, so here we go. Correct each run-on sentence by separating it into 2 sentences. So we're going to do the first one sort of together, and then I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with the rest. It says, we have a new car. It is bright red. We have a new car. It is bright red. By the way, you need to use a pencil today, so don't ask me. Pencil until I tell you can. How do I take that sentence and write it into 2 complete independent clauses or sentences? So what I want you to do is pause recording and rewrite this sentence into 2 sentences. We want to separate. Put it on pause, and then we'll check our answers. All right, you ready for the big reveal? We'll reveal it, and I hope you were honest and waited for the recording and just didn't copy it, because I'll tell on your quiz, won't I? So you can try to cheat, but it isn't going to do you any good, is it? Here we go. We have a new car, period. It is bright red. Both of these are independent clauses, aren't they? They can stand on their own. Have is the verb. Who has? We do. Is the verb. What is? It is the subject. That means they're independent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read each sentence. And after that sentence, I want you to pause the recording. And then I want you to rewrite the sentence into two separate sentences. And at the very end, we'll go back and we'll reveal all the answers. So remember, I'm going to read the sentence. Step 2, you're going to write two separate sentences. Step 3, I'll go back and reveal at the end. All right, here we go. I must hurry up, the store will close shortly. I must hurry up, the store will close shortly. Pause and change this sentence into two separate sentences. Number 3, the dog ran to meet its owner. It was happy to see him. The dog ran to meet its owner. It was happy to see him. Pause and put this sentence into two separate sentences, please. Number 4, the baby looked up at the sky, the sun was shining. The baby looked up at the sky, the sun was shining. Please put that into two separate sentences. Pause the recording and do your work. Number 5, snowflakes come in different sizes. I like big snowflakes best. Snowflakes come in different sizes. I like big snowflakes best. Whew, that's even hard to say. Please put that sentence into two separate independent clauses, please. Pause the recording. Number 6, she was nervous when she got on stage. There were so many people. She was nervous when she got on stage. There were so many people. Please take that last sentence and put it into two independent clauses. Create two independent sentences and pause the recording. All right, hopefully you were honest with yourself and you took the time to pause recording, because remember, I'll be able to tell when you take your test, won't I? So it's better to be honest now, because you can always correct yourself after you see the answers. I must hurry up, the store will close shortly. How do I change that? Let's see. I must hurry up. Must hurry is the verb. Who must hurry? I must. That's a subject. That can stand on its own. The store will close shortly. Will close is the verb. Who will close? The store. That's a subject. Both independent clauses because they have a subject and verb, right? Good. Now, if you need to pause the recording to make changes or fix it, please do so. And you should use pen. If you made any mistakes, just use pen to show me that you were really focused on this. Number 3, the dog ran to meet its owner. It was happy to see him. So I have to kind of think where this is best to separate it. The dog ran to meet its owner, period. Ran is the verb. Who ran? The dog. Subject and verb, that can stand on its own. It was happy to see him. Was happy is the verb. Who was happy? It. Subject, it can stand on its own. If you need to make corrections, pause the recording. Number 4, the baby looked up at the sky, the sun was shining. Whew, that's even hard to say. So you should have separated. The baby looked up at the sky, period. Looked is the verb. Who looked? The baby. So there's a subject and verb. That's independent. The sun was shining. Was shining is the verb. Who was shining? The sun, which is the subject. Now, if you made any mistakes, just put on pause and make your corrections. Number 5, snowflakes come in different sizes. I like big snowflakes best. Snowflakes come in different sizes. I like big snowflakes best. Snowflakes come in different sizes, period. Come is the verb. Who come? Snowflakes is the subject. Subject verb can stand on its own. I like big snowflakes best. Like is the verb. Who likes? I do. That's the subject. They can stand on their own. If you need to make corrections, please pause the recording and make your changes. She was nervous when she got on stage. There were so many people. She was so nervous when she got on stage. Period. Was nervous was the verb. Who was nervous? She was is the subject. That can stand alone. That's an independent clause. There were so many people. Were is a verb. Who were? People. So that can stand on its own. All right. So make your changes. Pause the recording before we go on to the next page. And think about what you did here. You took a run-on sentence. It felt like you couldn't even catch a breath. That's really what run-on sentences are like. You're out of breath. Sometimes you have to put pauses in there. You have to take a breath. And we can do that by separating two sentences into independent clauses and putting punctuation. All right, pause, make any corrections, and we'll be ready to go to the next page. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on this page first. And let's get out our pens to make some notes. A run-on sentence combines two or more independent clauses. And remember, we know independent clauses stand on alone when they have a subject and a verb. Good. Now, here's what we might notice. It may be missing a coordinating conjunction, which is a fanboy. You know what? I'm going to start writing fan. Ms. Dabowski's trying to use her pen with the pen on the smartboard, but it doesn't always work that way. All right, and a comma. We know what a comma is, right? It's a circle with a little tail, doesn't it? Okay, it's not very good, is it? It may include a comma, but does not include a coordinating conjunction or connecting word. So what they're saying is, I might have had a comma, but guess what? I forgot a fanboy. Sometimes my error is it has a comma and a coordinating conjunction, but it has way too many independent clauses. I mean, you can't have, 16 different independent clauses and keep having commas and conjunctions. So what we're saying is to have a run-on sentence means you combine two or more independent clauses incorrectly. So what might be the error? We're analyzing. One error is it's missing a fanboy and a comma. Another mistake you might have made, maybe it has a comma, but guess what you forgot? A coordinating conjunction. The last thing you might have made a mistake is you have way too many independent clauses, but you do have a coordinating conjunction or a fanboy, but you forgot to do that. You just have too many together. All right. So let's get ready to move on to the next set of directions. Let's put a star by our directions. My star looked a little sloppy there.